Alan Wasalama, and I wanna shukran you for viewing this. I wanna always let you know I appreciate you coming into my platform and getting this nourishment, getting this education. And I am the Nasty Pastor. I'm back with another reading from out of the book, Stolen Legacy. Author is George G. M. James. And it's important to know your history. You feel me? It's very important to know your history, know your culture. It's very important to know history, period. You know, you could foretell some things. You're able to see some things that is repeating itself in our time. You know, this world is about divide and conquer. You got what I'm saying? Divide and conquer. So when you think of our military, you know, they're not going across seas and the war about some money. No, the war is about suffering. The war is about past revengeance that has surfaced in the now. You got what I'm saying? There are things that went on in Desert Storm that has not been handled. You got what I'm saying? But it's the same militia or the same groups doing this stuff. So come on, let's go on, get this over with now. You got what I'm saying? But we're gonna pass all that, you know what I mean, and focus on this education of knowing our ancestors, knowing what we've done, knowing what our contribution to the world, not just America, to the world. You feel what I'm saying? To the world. And if you haven't, you know, go to my YouTube channel, you know what I mean, and like, subscribe, comment, share, and you know, definitely turn them notifications on. You know, it's how to put this, you know what I mean? I want to say, you know, it's important, you know, to put them notifications on. And it's you know, in what I'm trying to give to the world, it is. It's important. You know, I'm trying to educate you on your ancestors, educate you on how to open your mind and look at things for what it is and not for what you want it to be. You feel what I'm saying? You know, we have blinders on because of the world that we live in. You know, we pollute our brain with a lot of negativity at a young age, which becomes so part of our life that we don't, how to say it, we don't open our mind to things because we don't know that side of the world. This is all we know. You feel me? But you have to notice your world exists in a world that's bigger than your world. You got what I'm saying? You have a world inside this world. I have a world inside this world. We can build with each other, but there are things about your world I may not like. So there are things I'm not going to go too far into. I'm going to back away from some of that stuff you do. You're going to back away from some of the stuff I do if you don't agree with it. All right, but let's get into this reading. And we're starting this reading off, you know, we're into chapter 6 now. And the title is The Athenian Philosophers. Now, you know them Athenians are Greeks, you know, you got it? From the land of Greece. Europeans, you know what I mean? For real. You know, they're Europeans. One, Socrates, well, let me do this first before we even start. Let me do this first, get a handle on what I'm doing. Well, as you can see, chapter 6 kind of big. I mean, big. Yeah, chapter 6 kind of big. Got some pages on. There's some pages going. Okay. I like it like it when I get to that part. Yeah, chapter 6 kind of big. It stopped on 130. It stopped on 130 and start on. And it starts on. Why I take my bookmark out? It would have been more easy if I left the bookmark in. I apologize for this pause. Just bear with me. I'm almost where I need to be at. Got it. All right. We're looking at that's 30, and then it's 20. No, it's what, 17 right here. So we talking about 47 pages. So I'm gonna break this down very small for real. One is Socrates, his life, doctrine, summary of, conclusion. Life of Socrates, date and place of birth. Socrates was born in Athens in the year 469 BC. He was the son of Sophroniscus, a sculptor, and Phaenorit, a midwife. Very little is known about his early years, but we are told that he was brought up in the profession of his father, and that he called himself not only a pupil of Prodicus and Aspasia, which statement suggests that he might have learnt from them music, geometry, and gymnastics, but also a self-taught philosopher according to Xenophon in the Symposium. Well, I want to say this to you. I don't believe he was self-taught because, he died. They killed him because he went on to teach the Egyptian mystery system. You got what I'm saying? Somehow he received the books and they started teaching it over there in Europe, and they killed him later on when they found out, he was committing plagiarism. You got what I'm saying? Up to the age of 40, his life appears to be a complete blank. The first mention being made of him when he served as an ordinary soldier in the sieges of Pavia and Delium between 432-429 BC. His economic status and personality. Socrates did not accept fees for what he taught, and he became so poor that his wife Xanthippe became very dissatisfied with domestic conditions. He believed that he possessed a divine something, a divine voice which advised and guided him in the great crisis of his life. His condemnation and death in 399 BC after the accustomed speeches of the accuser, Miletus, Anytus, and Lacan. Socrates followed with his defense, at the conclusion of which the judges voted 281 to 220, and Socrates was condemned to death. As a parting word, he addressed himself both to those who voted against him and those who voted in his favor. In the case of the former, he rebuked them by predicting that evil would befall them in consequence of their crime in condemning him. In the case of the latter, he not only consoled them with the assurance that no evil could come to a good man, neither in life or in death, but also expressed to them his idea about immorality. Death is either an eternal and dreamless sleep where then there is no sensation at all, or it is a journey to another and a better world. Where are the famous men of old? Whichever alternative be true, death is not an evil, but a good. His death is willed by the gods, and he is content. His death was delayed through a state religious ceremonial, and he remained in prison for 30 days. We are told that during this time he was visited by his friends who consisted of the inner circle and also his wife, Zenithabe, that this was the occasion of his discourse concerning the immorality of the soul, that he could have escaped from death if he wished, because his friends visited him before daybreak and offered to set him free, but that he refused the offer. Accordingly, Socrates drank the hemlock and died. Well, we're gonna close that off right there. And I just want to say this to you again. You know, Socrates wasn't a Kemet, wasn't even an Egyptian, but they still talk about the philosophers in the world, and I haven't heard anything about Kemet. I know we wrote the Egyptian mystery system. You got what I'm saying? I know we wrote that. They came in and translated it. You got what I'm saying? So why are there no talks of the philosophers of Kemet? Why are there not? You get it? But the credit goes to the Europeans. You really get me now, right? So I say this to you, you know, stay woke. You know what I mean? Always protect yourself, you know what I mean? Physically, financially, you got what I'm saying? Spiritually, you feel me? Protect yourself. Mind, body, soul, you got what I'm saying? Protect yourself. Anyway, who you've been with the Nasty Pastor, this been a chapter reading from Stolen Legacy. Look, you know what to do. If you ain't on my YouTube channel, go on over there and get busy. If you ain't on my Facebook channel, go on over there and get busy. Please, run it up for me. You know what I mean? Help me run it up. I love you in the mouth.